All right, it's recording. It's recording on my mind too. All right, everyone, welcome to the Team Fit and Natural team call on July 27th. We are excited everyone's here. I'm not going to read everyone's Success Club because I am horrible at reading names, but congrats to everyone who's doing Success Club. As everyone knows, tomorrow starts Summit, or today for some people starts Summit. Everyone should make sure to get a ticket for next year. Get to last year, and I was so it and I'm now, so definitely get it when they go on sale. They'll probably be in the next couple of days, and everyone knows the Country Heat is now out, so I think it'll be huge. I think it's very important to stress the fact that it comes with a 21-day fixed diet because people are very into the 21-day fixed diet, and a lot of people have contacted me that they're excited as part of it, and also stress the fact that it's kind of so Zumba. I know she's posting a lot and keep. Thanks for unmuting me, Marissa. Keep posting about it and get everyone excited. I'm excited to do it and try it. And I'm the biggest spaz, so if anyone could do it, if I could do it, everyone can. So today we're just going to talk. Four of us are going to talk about what we have to overcome and what we were scared of with respect to coaching. And I will say that I would say every single thing that we're supposed to do for coaching, I was nervous about. I'm not talking about it, but I used to never post on Facebook. Inviting is scary. Non-Beachbody conversations, everything is scary. And I think everyone, took that. So I just wanted to talk about talking to people in person about it because that I also was super nervous about. And I think I'm still struggling a little with it, but I think I've gotten easy ways to get better at it. And I remember before Sunday in Westchester, I was out to dinner with Dave Atkins, and he said to me, he said, went around the table, like, who's scared to talk to people in grocery stores? And it was like 20 coaches, and I was the only one that raised my hand and said that I was nervous to talk to people in grocery stores because I just mind my own business and walk out usually. And they said how some of the diving coaches and coaches of Team Perseverance were talking about how they did get a lot of contacts and a lot of customers from talking to people randomly in grocery stores or with their kids or anything like that. So I realized that it's definitely an easy way to make conversation. Having kids is an easy way to make conversation because people, you say something about your kids and they'll usually agree if they have kids. The first way I started to do it, though, the easiest way to do it is just to wear and share. So if you're wearing a Shakeology shirt or a Shakeology headband, people usually ask you about it. If you wear a T25, people are like, oh, I heard about that conversation. I heard about that, or, whatever. And I feel like that helps a lot. I also am, when I meet people, no matter how I meet them, I feel like one easy way to bring up Beachbody is just you ask them what they do. And so when you ask them what they do, they'll most likely say to you, what do you do? And then I'll say I'm an attorney and I'm also a Beachbody coach, and they'll be like not interested at all about attorney work because nobody is. But they will ask me questions about, Beachbody and what it entails, and they're like, oh, I've heard about it, or like, my fourth cousin is a Beachbody coach, tell me about it, or I've seen that online a lot of times. And then I talk to people, and if you act excited about it, like I just say, like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. I get to help people lose weight. Like every Saturday, I get all of my coaches and customers results, and they keep telling me how amazing it is, and like it's so rewarding. It's the most rewarding job and hobby to be able to tell people how to help people lose weight and feel good about themselves. And I just talk about it like that. And the last like few people I've met are like almost are interested in going like straight into coaching just because that's how I spoke about it with them and they've been speaking to me about it. And I think that helps a lot because I think on Facebook, we say how excited we are, but I think when people actually see you in person and they see like your enthusiasm about it, that they want to join as well. So I think that's definitely an easy way to get people to, to bring in is just ask them exactly what they do. Another thing in the grocery store, which is what Dave Atkins told me to do, is that if someone has something healthy in their cart, just be like, oh, that's such a good healthy choice. And then be like, oh yeah, I'm trying this, whatever. So he says that like the other guys were saying, like they'd be like, oh yeah, I try to make healthy choices. I'm doing the 21-day fix. And then people will go back and say like, oh yeah, I've heard about that. What is it? Like, can you tell me more about it? So I think in person, it's definitely, I still definitely struggle with it sometimes because sometimes I just want to go to the grocery store and not, and mind my own business. But I think it definitely helps a lot. And I think also I always ask people, make sure when you talk to people in the grocery store, just make sure that you get their names also, because a lot of times you meet people and you're like, oh, that would have been a good person to keep in touch with, or like, you click and, maybe even if it wouldn't be a Beachbody customer, it might be a friend. So I always will ask them, and like I feel like that sometimes gets awkward, but I'll just be like, oh, what's your name? We should definitely keep in touch. Find me on Facebook, and then they do, and then they add me on Facebook, and then even if you just don't even make a conversation about Beachbody, but you're making a conversation at all, they'll see your post on Facebook. So my goal is always that when I'm at parties or wherever, I always try to talk to as many people as possible. It's obviously hard for me with 3 young kids, but I try to talk to as many people as possible. And then if it's at a party, it's pretty easy to find them because you just go to the person whose party it was and you find them on Facebook, if you get their first name. But if it's not, if you don't get that, you can ask them and say like, oh yeah, we'll friend each other on Facebook. And once you make that conversation, even if you say 0 things about Beachbody, which I do pretty frequently, they'll be your friend, and then they'll see all your posts and they'll be inspired by that. So those are definitely some tips for in person and getting to know people and adding to your friend list. The more friends you have on Facebook, the better. And you're supposed to add 2 to 3 people a day. So if you go to a party and you add 3 people from the party, that's the easiest way to add people. So, or people from the supermarket too. So those are my tips for that. Next up is Anne-Marie. I'm going to mute myself.
Hi. Am I on? Okay. Okay, so I was also afraid of still am pretty much afraid of every single thing we're supposed to do with Beachbody coaching. But so one of the things that I've sort of kind of not afraid of anymore is how to add, also about adding to the network and adding friends to your Facebook contact list. And I used to, based on trainings I did in the past, sort of just go to my friends list and be like, oh, I know this person, I know that person, and just randomly friend request them, which at times I still do, but to me that feels really awkward. So what I found helps is whenever possible, I tag somebody in a post. I'll tag my mother. In a different post, I'll tag my sister. In a different post, I'll tag my husband, close friends of mine, my best friend, obviously non-Beachbody people as much as possible. And then when people who are friends of theirs comment or like the post, then I feel more comfortable. Either I'll banter with them a little bit on the post, or sometimes even if they just like the picture, like if I post a picture of my son, for example, he got a new tricycle from my parents, so I tagged my mother in the picture. Oh, thanks, Grandma, for the tricycle, so obviously all my friends are liking it. And then anytime I saw somebody that I recognize, I was like, oh, that's one of my mom's friends. So I felt comfortable at that point to just add them to the friends list. And then it kind of segues into making a non-Beachbody conversation, because after the person would accept my friend request, I would send them a private message. Oh, thank you so much for accepting my friend request. I know my mother doesn't, my mom, she doesn't share a lot of pictures of Shane, so I thought if you wanted to see them, I would recognize the names from people she worked with or something like that, and just be like, oh, hey, I know my mom doesn't know how to share pictures on Facebook, haha, so I figured you'd want to see him and whatever. And people are usually pretty receptive to that. I've done it with my husband's friends, with my sister's friends. And it just feels a little bit more comfortable because there's been some sort of interaction or some reason. I'm not just out of the blue, oh, why is this person friend requesting me? Yeah, so what, I knew her 40 years ago? I don't know. Some people don't even have a problem with that, but I always feel like, oh God, is a person going to think oh, I stalked them down on Facebook randomly to friend request them? Why is she randomly, friend requesting me? So that totally helps. Just a little tip I found, was tagging somebody and then using, so it's not like a cold friend request, and then it makes for an easy follow-up. Oh, thanks for accepting my friend request, and then just one thing, whatever it is, just one quick sentence, just so that it takes away some of the awkwardness. And then, so that's kind of like a strategy, not that I thought of it myself, I'm sure, but strategy that I found that helped me feel a little bit more comfortable. And then also I kind of just changed my mindset, because I used to, before Shane was even born, I wasn't a big Facebook user before all this like Beachbody stuff. And I was like, oh man, people are always posting pictures of their kids. And I didn't know how I felt about it. So I had to really kind of make that decision recently. Like, all right, now I have 300 friends. I only know 100 of them in real life. So I'm really posting pictures of my kid to strangers. And I really didn't know how I felt about that. So I had to just kind of make the decision. And I decided that, everybody, I know it's kind of like peer pressure, but everybody's doing it. I'm not posting pictures of him in the bathtub. There's nothing super personal. I'm not putting anything that I think he would kill me for when he's older. Like, I happen to think the pictures are cute and I try to keep it funny, and, because there is that stickiness of like, okay, now you have complete strangers on your friends list, And then another thing I wasn't sure if I was comfortable with was, even after making, small talk with people and then sending the friend request, are they going to think I'm a weirdo? Are they the kind of people who don't want acquaintances on their friends list? And I kind of just put in my head, like, you know what? I don't care. So I'm not making you accept my friend request. Just don't accept it. It's not like you're pressuring the person to accept you. Like, I've had random people, I don't even know who they are, sitting in my, requested to be my friend, and I've just completely not answered them. So I feel like people could do the same thing. Like, if you send a friend request and they don't feel like being your Facebook friend, they can just ignore you. So that kind of helped me to get over, like, the thinking too much about, like, why is this person requesting me? So that's it. So I'm still a little bit nervous about it, but I feel much more comfortable doing the last training that I did, the RAMP training, and the AMP training. And that was on our little checklist every day. We had a friend request, 2 and 3 people. So I finally was like, all right, I got to get over this, and I have to figure out a quicker way to do it rather than going through and stalking all of my friends' friends, because that was taking forever. So that was my little tip on how to get over adding to your friends list. So I hope that was helpful. I think you're muted.
Hi. That's what I usually try to do too, is I tag either my sister, my mom, or my friends in pictures with the kids, and I feel like that helps a lot. And I know it's nerve-wracking to post pictures of your kids, but I feel like that also gives you like a human aspect of the beach, besides just Beachbody coaching. So I think that's definitely helpful too, and that was definitely very helpful. Thank you so much. All right, Crystal, you're up.
Okay, awesome. So just like you guys, I had and still have fears about all those things, but they're all in all areas. They're starting to get a little bit better. The one thing I feel really comfortable with now is sending personal invites through Facebook messaging. It was something that I thought I could avoid for a really, really long time until I realized this was like a big thing that I had to do. It's like one of the vital behaviors. And the first thing that really forced me to do this was the training. So when you do the Coach Basics training, part of that is list the names of some people that you invited today. And I actually ended up doing Coach Basics like 2 or 3 times, because when it got to those posts, I just couldn't. So I left the group. So for me, forcing myself to do it was the first thing. So just forcing myself not to think about it, because I knew that I had to complete the coach training, if that makes sense. And I knew that I couldn't let my group down. I didn't want to let Charisse down. I didn't want to fail the course. So that was the first thing, like just putting myself to it and doing that. But then I slowly started to become more comfortable. So I'm just going to share a couple things that help me feel more comfortable when I'm doing the invites. The first thing is to make sure that I've formed the people first. So I feel better about sending an invite if I've done all those things with forming the person. A couple times I've sent invites without having done that, and I end up just feeling kind of like, oh, I don't think that went over very good. So always making sure I do the forming first. Another thing that I do before I send out any invites is I create a list of the people that I'm planning to invite before I invite them. So I'm sure we all do a version of this. But I would take, say, 4 names, and the day before I invited, I'm just up for my little chat. So if you could, sure, you could just be with Charlotte, because I just have like 5 minutes. Okay. So basically, I would make a list of like the 4 names that I knew that I had to invite. And sorry. Sorry, you guys. And then what I would do is I would pre-script the invitations before sending them out. So I have a document in Google Docs that basically has the variations of all the different inviting scripts that are available to us on Team Fit Natural page on our Facebook page. And I've copied them out to a Google Doc. And then what I'd do is I would take the 4 names of the people that I was planning to invite, and I'd look at those scripts that Cherise provided, and I'd kind of feel which one would sort of suit that person more, or my relationship with that person. And then I would copy paste out the script underneath their name in a different Google Doc. So it would say like, hi Allison, hi Jeanette, hey Amber. So it'd have the 4 names. And then once the scripts were kind of in there, I would shape them so they were a bit more personalized. And because that for me was the thing that took up the most time, was like thinking about what I was going to say. And I could spend so long on the computer doing this that by the time I was finished, I would have talked myself out of sending them, or I just wouldn't send them. So I kind of do it in 2 parts. I like script my invitations. I have my list. I script my invitations. I personalize them. And then I kind of put them aside for the day. And then come the next day or the next morning, I choose to send out my invites when I'm in a really, really good headspace. So either when I've just finished my personal development, when I finished a workout and I feel really good, or if I have a really quiet moment and the kids are sleeping and I've got like a tea or something like that. And I sit down and I just copy paste out. They've been like spell checked, they're personalized, they have the right name on it. And I put it in the Facebook Messenger, and all I do is hit send. That's all I have to do. So I'm not typing the message into their message box and then erasing things and typing more and overthinking it. So that obviously is time consuming, and I'm now able to get away from that a little bit because I feel like they're being received better than they were in the beginning. But for me, if I sat there for too long, it was too much. So I script and then I do that. And the last thing for me with the inviting, I've been like using the indirect approach. So that's like wording like, I'm not sure if this would even interest you, but, or I hope you don't mind me messaging you about something like this, like those type of scripts that we have available to us. And I found using those indirect sort of comments, some people are like, oh my gosh, of course I don't mind you messaging me about this, or, and now I think it's been a couple months since I've been doing that. I'm able to start being a little bit more direct with people I feel would receive it more well. Like, hey, you wouldn't be interested in doing this challenge with me, would you? Like, I'm kind of trying out those techniques a little bit, but yeah, those are the things that are making me feel a little bit better about inviting.
That's great. That's very helpful. I think I like the idea of, I've never done that before. I sit in the chat box and I like think about it for like of doing it beforehand. And I still do indirect. What I've been saying lately, which has been getting, I just told Ed about this recently. I found has been getting like the best reception is that I just say like, you look like you're in awesome shape. I'm sure you're not interested, but blah blah blah. And I feel like when I give a compliment, even if you give anyone a compliment, they'll appreciate it. So people are like, oh, thank you so much, but I really need to lose 15 pounds. Then you can be like, oh, well, blah, 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 and I feel like that's been helping a lot with my inviting lately.
Or the comment like, you wouldn't, or would you happen to know anybody that would be interested in something like this? That one is good too.
Yeah, that's great. Because then like, that's what I use that sometimes. I used to use that all the time. I feel like that was good because a lot of times they'd be like, oh, maybe my friend XYZ. And you'd be like, oh, well, let me know, So yeah, that's definitely a great way too. So thank you very much. Inviting is definitely the scariest for me. So thank you so much for those tips. All right, Marin.
Okay. Hi. Sorry. 1 second. Okay. You muted yourself. Okay. So am I on?
Yep.
Oh, okay. What was it? Oh, I am doing posting 3 times a day. So I was really, really nervous with posting. I talked to you, to Laura, I talked to Sharice about it. And basically what the first thing that Sharice said to me, which I really never even realized, is that you can post many, many times a day, but not the same people are going to be seeing your post that every day. Like my husband might not see, well, he does see everything I post, but like certain people, like in all of your friends groups, don't see everything you post. So like there's going to be something that's just going to catch somebody's eye because everybody posts a million times a day. So that really made me feel a little bit better. So that's why I started feeling better, and it was a lot easier for me to post things that I post about. I took the ideas from, I think there was a checklist at one point. I don't even remember where I found it, but things to post about were, there's somebody. Oh, okay. My family, my friends, my workouts, what I did for the day, some really good quotes, but follow it up with a picture or of yourself. Make it real, make it yourself. There's an echo. Does everybody hear that or no?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I'm just hearing voices. Okay. So basically, so I've been really making a conscious effort 3 times a day to be posting different things. I find the pictures of my kids from camp and from school, and I do first thing in the morning posts, and then I do in the afternoon posts. I swear to God, I think there's like a ghost in my house. Sorry. And you hear the echo too, Lauren. See?
Maybe there's a ghost in her house.
Yeah, no, I think my husband's away, so for business. All right, anyway. So back to the posting. So thank you, Crystal. I really, I put a lot of thought into my posts, and I really, I remember post first thing in the morning, no matter what, and then it becomes the middle of the day. And they also, I think it was, maybe Jen Holdman said that certain people see your post, like you have to see what time of day people are reacting to your post the best. So that's when you decide when you're going to post also. So, my free meeting will end in 10 minutes. So just so we know that, okay? Stay with Free. I just got that notice. Okay. And so I've been noticing that people really also react at nighttime when I post. So actually, I literally just, my friend texted me a picture of my son at camp today. So I'm literally going to just post that tonight, right after this, just so like that'll be my post for the night, and people will react to it. For me, it depends on everybody when people most like react to your post. I really have the just do it attitude now. Really, it is what it is. People are going to see your post. People find me inspiring, and people have started to tell me that I'm inspiring, and they love that I'm posting. They don't, think that I'm like too annoying and stuff like that, except for one person, that Lauren. But I know, get rid of him. I know. Yeah, otherwise, like, people have been really reacting towards it, and I'm really happy with it. And so I'm not nervous to post anymore. I think it's a lot easier, and I've got it down pat. So it's been great.
That's great. Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like your posts are great, and I feel like, I know you're nervous, but I feel like all of your posts get so many likes whenever you post anything. So I feel like it definitely gives you confidence. I feel like that's what gave me confidence. And also when people start telling you around town, which I know people are for you too, that it's like inspiring to see you. And don't worry about the haters. Whatever. If it's
I told him I'd defriend him, and he was like, no, I love your posts. And I was like,
I saw that, yeah.
So, but I learned from the best, because I really kind of follow what you do too. No, like, if you don't mind, I feel
like I sometimes want to just copy your posts. So, you do, I feel like, and I know you put a lot of thought into it. It's great. And I think I actually found the same time, similar times. My morning is definitely the best. And then like late night, like around like 8 o'clock or whatever, I find is my best time. But just definitely everyone should just try it out and see what time there is. People who work till like 5:30, they say that like their best time is 5 o'clock. I feel like if I post at 5 o'clock, I get like 2 likes, but like I feel like some people say their best time is 5. Some people say lunchtime is their best. Again, the workers, a lot of people check during lunchtime. So it's just a trial and error thing, and you'll realize that when you're doing similar types of posts, that like you'll see what time is the best time to post, and then you can just go from there. It sounds like Marissa and I have similar times to post, but everyone else has different times and to figure it out. But yeah, thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions or any other things they want to say? I saw it says yes, Crystal, but I didn't see what it said.
So agree, Crystal, with that.
Yes, all the time, Crystal. I get so many people that stop me, and people who aren't even my friends on Facebook have stopped me and said, "You're so inspiring. I see your pictures," and I'm like, I feel like being like, "How do you see?" And then I end, of course, but it's weird.
My son's preschool teacher told me she loved my videos. I'm like, how did you see them?
Yeah,
I just didn't know. And she's never. But then once we had that conversation, then she liked her first post shortly after that.
yeah.
It's just really, I find it really interesting.
Request you, or I friend request them. Anyone who says it.
And then you have the person that my old camp counselor, she doesn't like any of my posts, and she messaged me yesterday asking me all these questions, and I'm in talks with her about what to do.
About like a challenge?
A chat, yeah. She does not like any of my posts, but then she doesn't like click like, but she sees my stuff, and so she messaged me yesterday. She said, "I want to know what you're doing," and so I've been talking to her.
And that's great. That's what happens frequently. That's good. It's like, people, not everyone likes everything, and they don't necessarily. I think people also at Beachbody might be a little hesitant to like our Beachbody post, but they'll like other posts. But they're watching you, and like people who have seen my post for a year have been like, "Oh, someone just contacted me yesterday." They're like, "I've been watching your post for a year, and like I've been interested for a year, but like now she got in touch with me." Like I feel like it just happened. That's also why I like this is good, because then clients are like, "Oh yeah, I have been interested," But yeah, all right, guys, this was an excellent call. Thank you so much. And does anyone else have any questions or comments, or how they got over fears? Any other insight? All right, much guys. You guys did an amazing job, and yeah, thank you.
Have a great time at Summit.
I feel like everyone still has the same feeling. It's all worth it.
Yes.
Can anybody screenshot this?
I took a picture of I only got
I've got several screenshots of it now.
Okay.
4 of us on it.
I just thought it would be a cool post.
I thought so too. Because I'm on my phone, I only have 4, but you get a picture of all your.
You're sideways.
What?
Now you're not sideways. You were sideways before. Should I stop recording?
I think if we could get a snapshot of.
There's no snapshot here.
Oh, I just used a screenshot if anybody needs it.
View button.
Oh, good job.
I got several
Hit the
different
gallery
screens of
view to
it.
get
So
everybody.
Everyone got it?
Cool.
I'll post them on the team page so everybody can get what they want.